Hey, I'm Caleb Anderson, and welcome to the Spirit Farm Group Experience. I want to talk today just for a few minutes about the season that we're approaching, the Christmas season. Christmas Simplified is what I want to talk about, because in our culture today, no matter where you live in the world, our culture tends to make Christmas a little bit hectic, like a little bit chaotic, complicated, if you will. There's so many factors that complicate Christmas. Let's just mention a few. Take the family dynamic, for instance. You may not be married, you may not have kids, but there's still an awkward family dynamic in most Christmas parties, in most Christmas traditions. So if, let's say, there's a blended family, that complicates it, because then you're like, how do we include this family? If there's divorce in the family, how do we include these people? Where do we go this time of year? How do we balance this out? Even just dating or being in a marriage, you have to figure out, are we going to do my family for Christmas or Thanksgiving? Are we going to do your family for Thanksgiving and Christmas, but my family for like Arbor Day and Flag Day? Because, that makes sense. Or whatever those kind of complicated dynamics look like. And then you have the present buying. The presents. You can't buy too expensive, but you can't buy too inexpensive either. There's expectations placed on Christmas presents and the parties. Which ones do we go to? Which ones do we say no to? Which ones do we throw ourselves? Complicated. But the message of Christmas is not complicated. So I wanted you to just be able to pause from the chaos, take a breath as we approach this season, and remember that the message of Christmas is actually quite simple. I want to read you just a verse. Luke 2:11. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people. Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord." The Messiah means the saving one, the one who's come to make things right, to reunite us with the God of the universe. And notice he says, don't be afraid. When things get hectic and chaotic and complicated, there can be this sense of unease in us. And that's the way this angel starts when he shows up and is speaking. He just says, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Let's simplify this. Let's settle it down a bit. I bring you good news, message of Christmas right here. I bring you good news that will be great joy for all the people. So if you want to know what Christmas is about, it's about the God of the universe showing up here in a very humble way, by the way. But he comes to bring good news, great joy for all the people. Let's not get hung up on who's in and who's out. Let's not get hung up on if we like them or we don't like them, if we agree with them or if we don't agree with them, what we disagree on. Good news for all of the people. And as you go into the party, as you go into the conversation with the family member that you're not looking forward to seeing, or the party that you just feel obligated to go to, have in the back of your mind or in the front of your mind, this time is about good news. I'm going to embody good news. I'm going to look for good news in all the places and all the things. And as much as I can, I'm going to bring the joy. I'm not going to be selective about who I engage with, if they're from a different tradition or a different belief system, or if they have a different viewpoint on this theological issue. Are you kidding me? Good news that sparks great joy for all the people. It's that simple. Now, if you're with a family, a spouse, a boyfriend, girlfriend, or in a group dynamic, wherever that group is, I want to invite you to have a conversation about that. We provide you with questions that I hope serve you, but let's simplify it even more. Let's talk about what's complicating Christmas for you. How do we simplify it? And how do we get back to the simple essence of good news, joy, as it relates to all the people? Open arms, caring about more people maybe than you cared about last season. I hope that helps. I hope you have a great conversation. I'll see you next time.